trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Zen
Trap.
Protect
Yo, peace.
Protect your energy.
Alright.
God bless you.
Clean that bit up, man. Dang. Yo, my mosquito bites get huge.
Just one bite, ain't it?
Yeah, that's just one bite. Something else bit me. It's one back here too, I think.
Alcohol on that.
You got some? Got some witch hazel?
I got the witch hazel gel.
Yeah, I might need some of that witch hazel. Do you have a preference, witch hazel or alcohol?
I don't. I've never really used witch hazel like that, so
okay.
I guess, do you?
Yeah, I think alcohol is like stronger, but it might be more abrasive. So either one.
It's more abrasive because it's stronger.
Probably. Probably. Man, how you been, man? How you feeling lately? We've been in this joint for a minute now. Tired yet?
Not necessarily tired. I am tired once we get to certain places, but I get back, I guess, not necessarily rejuvenated. Because it's like you get excited when you get to a new place, but you also get tired from the travel to get there.
Yeah. I think people don't realize how draining travel is, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely
and,
draining.
The parts that come along with traveling, like everything ain't gonna go smooth every single time, and when you go to a different country, you gotta figure it out every single time, because you'll be thinking like, oh, if this happened in this country, it must be the same in this country, and
it don't.
It don't be. The money could be different, the setup.
Yep.
So figuring all of that out can be draining as well, especially after you tired just from sitting in uncomfortable chairs or still eating airport food and stuff, or
whatever. Yeah.
What about you? You tired?
I had that first moment like, oh shit, we still got some time to go. We just getting started. Whew, okay. Like, I've had that moment, but I'm good. I feel like the more cities we start to go to, the more exciting it's gonna be, and the more you have to look forward to. So I feel like that kind of rejuvenates me. Again, you do recognize how much traveling or just moving around with luggage and all that stuff drains you. So when you do get to a spot, you really do be like, I gotta sleep for a minute before I can get up and do some stuff.
For sure. You concerned any about like the money or anything at home? You got any concerns about that, or you just like, I'm gonna deal with that when I get back?
I'm gonna deal with it when I get back. I feel like I'm being super present. I'm not trying to, ball out crazy. Like I'm conscious of, what's waiting on me when I get back and the plans I have for my life moving forward. But right now I'm focused on being present and experiencing what I came here to experience, and do what I came here to do. So that's why I'm locked in.
On that note, welcome to another ZTC, Zen Trap Chat. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
We just out here kicking it. Just coming to talk with you to help start your week.
Absolutely.
If this can't inspire y'all to grind and go do something or be intentional about whatever it is you do, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, we out here.
We out here, for sure.
If you can't tell from the background and stuff, we are putting forth effort to get this done, being very intentional. All
right, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah, sure.
In moments where you like pigeons be everywhere out here. In moments where you feel drained, what do you feel re-energizes you the most?
Music.
Music, like physically, I guess is what I'm saying. So physically, music energizes you.
What do you mean by physically then? Maybe I don't understand.
Like,
if I'm feeling drained, I go to sleep.
go to sleep.
So I don't know the physical part.
I guess it could be both. Yeah, of course, when your body is tired, you go to sleep. But I'm saying, like, is there something that you can do outside of sleep that can motivate you? Like, is there something that you can be like, oh, well, I know I got this goal, and if I keep grinding on this goal, like, for people who work out, I'm tired of working out. Like, I'm sick of getting up every morning and working out. What can motivate you, or what can re-energize you to stay on that goal, I guess? Like, what keeps you consistent? What keeps you going? What gives you drive?
I guess thinking about the why I'm doing it will make me want to go, and then also being focused on maybe not how I'm feeling at the moment, but how I feel when it's done. Definitely is the biggest one for me, because if you're using working out as an example, a lot of days, especially getting up early and all of that, I don't want to go, but what makes me keep going is every time I've gone on the days that I've definitely not wanted to go, I've always felt way better. I've never went and felt bad after going.
Yeah.
I always feel, if not, I always feel at least better when I go. I've never went and just regretted going, because the more you get in the habit of doing stuff that you don't want to do, it starts to get more consistent and comfortable, and you get addicted to that feeling of like, yeah, I know I feel bad now, but if I go to the gym, I feel like this afterwards. So now it's like I'm going just to get that feeling and build that consistency. What about you? What helps you stay consistent?
Well, I think what keeps me energized is kind of what you said, like the why. Me thinking of the end result. Like, all right, so what's your goal? Like, why are you doing this? And then everything in the middle is the grind, right? So do you want to get to the goal or not? It's kind of where I kind of find my motivation and my energy source from. It's like, all right, if the goal is to I don't know, finish school, I want to get another degree, and I don't want to do the homework, and it's like you don't really want to go there because you don't want to do the grind and get there. So I think me recognizing what the end goal is or the why kind of helps me stay energized or stay motivated.
Yeah, I'm listening to Will Smith's book because I just can't carry a lot of physical books around, and I think he had a good quote that he learned from his father about like just laying one brick at a time. Don't focus on the wall, focus on your one brick. Lay that one brick perfect, get another brick, lay that brick, eventually you'll be at the goal. So it's almost like if you focus and be present on the task at hand and take it one at a time, then you'll eventually get there, and it'll be a lot quicker than if you just kept focusing on the wall, because I think you'll miss some stuff along the way if you just keep focusing on the end result per se, instead of just focusing on the journey at like each specific task. Like, do that task the best you can, and this is the stuff you always keep saying about like how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So just focus on them bites.
Yeah, focus on the bite. Do that bite the best you can.
I got a random, well, it ain't random because it's gonna be I guess the Zen moment of the week with Zen P. Just to hear your thoughts on it. How do you feel about being born in the specific time that you were born in life? So, for example, to give you some expound upon it, people that were born between, I want to say around 1985 to about 1995-ish. Okay. I think they have a nice advantage when it comes to technology, because if you were born in about 85 to 90 to 93, you were raised with technology almost. You saw almost literally the birth of the internet. You saw the birth of video games. You saw the birth. So you were there to kind of grow up with technology, so you are more comfortable with, as technology changes, that's been your whole life. And people who were born in, like I said, 95, they experience like the same thing. Now the slightly disadvantage for I feel like most people that were born before that, technology wasn't moving as rapidly, and you kind of fight against, technology. You're not as open or willing to learn new technology and stuff. And then the people that were born after like 95, 2000, something around that age, they didn't get to see the birth of it, so they just expect everything to work a certain way and don't really respect technology. That, no, you think this is slow because you waiting 2 seconds when we had dial-up and all this other stuff. Computers used to be in a big wall. So how do you feel about like the time frame in which you were born?
I think it's unique, to say the least. I think it's unique, and it, like you said, it does provide us with a little bit of an advantage because we're accustomed to things changing. Like, we like, oh yeah, we know in 5 years it's gonna be different. Versus my mom and them, they had the same way of listening to music for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember having an MP3 player that had like a little USB pull-out that I could put about 10, 15 songs on. It was like 128 megabytes. I went from that to now listening to music on my phone.
For you to even know like what megabytes are and stuff, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Kids don't even know.
And when we're that age, we're still young enough to know about like floppy disk and all this stuff, VHS tapes, record players.
We knew. My mom had a record player.
Rotary phones,
encyclopedias. I remember like when I first did my first
hand.
When I first did my first like project where I had to get some information, my mom was like, go look in the encyclopedia. I remember opening up encyclopedias, atlas, things of that sort, where it was like,
you just Google now, or that Word just replaces it for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having to use the thesaurus.
Dictionaries. Like, I had a dictionary.
To write a book report, my mom would take a piece of paper that has lines on it. She would take a white print paper, put that on top of it, put it inside of, lay it flat and take a marker
and draw lines
so that when you write on the white paper, it's still perfectly uniform. And you wrote it on white paper, now it looks like it's all. I used to hate that.
Yeah, I mean, typewriters, we are familiar with those type of things, so that I agree that it is definitely gives us an advantage, but it's a unique advantage. I think it is an interesting time to have been born in, because we are literally like, just go. You gotta go with the flow. You know things gonna change. You know it's gonna get better, and you believe in the like I think my mom them, like, their generation is somewhat like, they're so far past it. Like, they're like, it's too much change. Like, it's too much going on. I don't even got to do all that. Which some people are like that, but others aren't. Others are like down with it. But I think it's a unique time to be born, for sure. I think it's special.
Yeah, I just think it's a thing to change your perspective and be really grateful for it. Because again, who's to say when you could have been born? You could have been born in the 20s or 1800s or some time frame where you know nothing anyway. Where like a horse or the invention of a wheel or fire was like something crazy big. Or you can be born in a time where, again, even me right now, I don't really know how the internet was born. Like, I still have no, even when, let's say, phones were invented and stuff, I still have no clue how, after electricity and all that stuff got invented, how some people thought of stuff that, like, knowing that these raw materials would create like screens and stuff like that. Like,
I remember my mom explaining to me data. Like, data transfer. She worked for Bell South, AT&T, Southern Bell, a long line of phone companies that turned into data companies, whatever. Right? I remember her explaining to me, like, all right, this is how you transfer data, and this is what people are trying to do faster and faster. So I remember, like, when the internet started coming around, she was kind of explaining to me, like, this is what's happening, like that. And I'm like, mind blown.
Man, pre-internet, I want to know, after electricity was, I guess, not even discovered, because it already existed, and they started to apply that to make, like, the first telephone and make people have telephones everywhere. I don't know how somebody came up, because I want to know who came up with, like, the first visual thing on a screen. Whether it's a bulb, a little bleep, or type.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like a little bloop, like it was like a data transfer.
But I mean,
like how did they come up with that? Yeah.
How did you experiment in like?
Yeah.
Even if I say now I want to have a screen in the air or something, I can, because of history, I can think of different ways, I guess, that would be possible or something like that. But if I say I just literally want something to appear just literally in air, I want to make a screen or something appear with my head or something, how do I start experimenting with stuff to figure like stuff that, because that's where you had to come from with it, because you got to experiment with all these raw materials or something to make something that you've never seen exist before.
I think there was like, I feel like there was either a TV show or a movie that came out that this dude was like, it was like his wife and his kid, and she was kind of complaining about how much he was gone. And he like came into the house and was like, babe, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to where when we talk on the phone, like we can see each other's face. Like, I'm trying to develop this, and that's why I'm gone all the time. Like, I'm working hard as shit to make something that nobody has ever done before. I need you to bear with me. I can't remember for the life of me what that was on. If anybody know what that was on, drop it in the comments. But it's stuff like that. It's like people who are like in that field that are like tirelessly researching, how can I do this? And they pulling together people from all over the world to say like, all right, you got this little bit, you made something do this, I can make it do this. How do we put this together and make it do that? It's just like, I think medical research, like I think the same thing about surgeries and stuff. Like, who was like, hey,
surgeries make more sense to me.
Really?
Like that's cut and dry experimentation, trial and error. I'm gonna cut somebody open and see if they still alive. And don't get me wrong, that's dangerous and all of this stuff. But on the technology side, again, you have to use raw materials that you are unfamiliar with, like I said, zinc, copper, all these other different materials to make something, and keep experimenting with that to make something that you've never seen. Versus it's like, usually with medical stuff, you have a problem that you're trying to solve. Like, somebody wants to live longer, somebody has this certain disease, so I'm trying to throw stuff at it to see what cures it and then try it with different people. That's pretty straightforward to me.
To me, it's the same concept with data, or the same concept with like creating all this stuff, except you don't kill nobody. Like, so you can you can try as many times as you want. You could experiment even further, to me, versus in medical field.
My thing is with those raw materials though, how do you know to put raw materials together to make something like that? Because again, for a computer, and I'm gonna do a whole lot of research after this, but for a computer used to be a room full of all these big circuits and all this and stuff. How'd you get to the circuit, to the whatever, and know that when you connect all these circuits, it's just gonna make this one little blip on one? Because again, the room was full just to make the screen be like a little green screen. But
I think it's just, we're gonna move this lead to here. Oh, something happened. Oh, we're gonna turn this now. Oh, something happened. Like, but you got people doing that all over the world.
But what I'm saying, move this lead and turn this knob. You have to build that stuff.
Yes.
To then do that stuff.
Yes, but I think it's people experimenting all over the world that are finding little pieces and they pulling it all together. I think that's a lot of reasons why like technology is like taking off the way it is because you got so many people starting to dive into a subject and then you start piecing it all together. That's just my opinion. But I feel you. It's definitely an uncharted territory that is kind of impressive when you think about how we've gotten to where we got.
Because what I'm saying, once you get to today, you've seen so many people do so many extraordinary things. So now it's just common to be like, oh, okay, if somebody invented teleportation or something, or if somebody invented, I don't know, we all can fly in cars and stuff. That's not just like something crazy now versus the cell phone used to be something that was like unheard of and stuff. And I don't know, technology advances baffle me. You got any other things you want to leave with the people?
No, man. You know what? I'm gonna say it again. I said it before. It's kind of the middle of the year. We in August now. You got 5 months left to the end of the year. Push yourself. Do something different. Make a change. Don't wait till later. Do it now. Do it today.
Yeah. And this has been another Zen Trap Chat.
I'm one of your two hosts, Yogi LG.
Zen P.
You can't do nothing else. Protect your peace.
Protect your energy.
It's the Zen Trap.
Yeah.
We out.